Logo. Hi, and welcome to another Woody's Tapestry. You know, here on Woody's Tapestry, we always like to put our heads together and come up with a little something, something. And today is no different. And I tell you why. Because after we put our head together, we came up with this great idea. Stay tuned, you will love it. You see, this all started me watching some guys do some work, right? And they was doing some specific work, like roofing. And I noticed that the way that they carried their tools and the type of tools that they had mean that they had tools specifically for that job. Now, yeah, a hammer can be used in a couple of different places. Screwdrivers can be used in a couple of different places. But the point is, they had a particular amount of tools for the job that they was doing. And I got to thinking. It reminded me of a story. This is a story about a guy that did the same thing that a lot of us do. And that is go all over everywhere looking for something that's already right here. Okay? The guys that's working on the roof, they carry their tools in this little bag, and they call it a tool belt bag. Okay? A tool belt. Okay, and they put things in there. And I was thinking like this, I said, you know, when we are brought into this world and God gives us life, He actually gives us the tools that we need, or the tool belt that we need, and He gives us the tools, but He don't place them in the belt. He only places them in the belt. He don't allow, let me say that like this, because He doesn't place them in there. We have to place them in there, because we have to discover the type of purpose and job that we are here for, so that we'll know if we're on the right path when we see if we're picking up the tools that's there. So that's why I'm going to call this my spiritual tool bag. Each one of us have this now. All of us have a tool bag. Every one of us have a purpose and a reason for being here. That's all a tool bag is. It's something that can put the proper tools in there to work, have you to help work, so that when you're doing a job, you'll be able enough to complete the job and do the job well, because you got the correct and the right tools. And that's all I'm trying to say about that. But let's go back to the story. In the story, this young guy was always seeking riches, and he wanted to be wealthy. He wanted to be rich. So he was always going all over the world. You know, when they gold over here, he would go over there to do gold. Silver hit over here, he'd go over here to do silver, you know, and so on and so forth. So after going all over the world, he decided, well, I'm tired of trying to find riches. I'm just going to buy me a little farm, settle down, and that's where it's going to be. Okay? And that's what he does. Now, he gets this farm, and he decides one year, I'm going to grow a garden. Okay? And so what he does is he go out and he starts plowing his field, and he runs over something really crazy. When he looked at it, it was a large rock. So he had to dig the rock up, and it gave him a little bit of a problem because the rock was actually embedded deeply. Like sometimes things in us are, and we have to have the right thing to be able to take it and pull it up out of us. Okay? And for y'all that know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean when I say that spiritual tool belt. It's the tool belt that you have your spiritual things in for warfare. Because if you living, guess what? You're going to be in the warfare. Like a friend told me one time, he said, if you don't never walk into the devil, if you don't never walk into your enemy, that means that you and he and you and she is walking side by side, going in the same direction. Check out and see what's in your toolbox. What's in your tool belt. Yeah, because I used to work with toolboxes too. That's why in the back I have different pictures and things, because when we first started developing life in this country, we had to have certain tools to put it together. Now we got all the symbols, you know, because it's easy to put the symbols out there, because the symbols represent what we really are not. because we are not able to live up to what this flag even represents. And that's why the children of Israel, being that they were the way they were, they ended up making a calf because they wanted something that they're being able to look at and say that it has more power than they have. It has more purpose than what they have, because they did not know what was in their spiritual tool belt. Had they known that, they would have been using those tools to make a better life for themselves by getting closer to the Creator that had placed them there. But let me get back. I got off course, but let me get back to the story. So the guy digs this rock up. And after he digs this rock up, he comes to an understanding. He said, okay, I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna get rid of the rock. So he throws it over into a pile, and where he had other rocks. He threw it over there, and that night, while he was sleeping, the rock kind of came to him in a dream, if you understand what I'm saying. He dreamed about the rock. So he got up, went outside, picked the rock up, brought it back inside, and like a baby, he bathed it and took all the stuff and the debris and the dirt off of it, and he put it into this place up on his mantelpiece. So he didn't think no more about it. A few weeks went by, and he had a few of his friends over. And as they were over, as they was looking around, one of them said, hey man, where'd you get this old crazy looking rock? And he tells him the story about farming and all that. And he said, that rock reminds me of something. See, it's like life. Sometimes you have to be around the right people for them to help see some of the things that are in you. See, all while you're growing up, you better be taking that spiritual tool belt and placing tools in them, because life is coming after you. There's no question, like a guy told me, there's no doubt about it. It's coming for you. So anyways, the guy's looking at this rock. He said, hey man, do you realize that looks just like a diamond that's uncut? Are you serious? He said, yeah. So they went and had it inspected and found out, true enough, it was the largest diamond that has ever been found above ground. Now that's supposed to be a true story. But the point is this: don't go all over the world looking for something when it's right in front of you. I can't emphasize that enough. America, you guys need to stop it. You look at a tape for 45 to 20 seconds, and that's supposed to determine whether or not someone is guilty or not guilty. When you still, as a people, and this is just us as a whole, still arguing about whether there's 8 or 9 planets in the solar system. See, because they don't want to have that correlation between the 9 holes that's in the body and the 9 planets that's in the universe to let you know just how close the Creator was placing you in this particular environment, which we call Earth, which lets you know this is where we're supposed to be. Not the moon, not Jupiter, not Pluto, Earth. Anyhow, that's my thing. And I don't want to bore y'all too long with that. I just wanted to come and share that idea about that tool belt. Because if you don't have the right tools, chances are you're not going to do the job well. Now listen, I'm getting ready to come to an end. Something simple, plain, and sweet. Click on any one of the videos and you'll be able to watch them. And then subscribe to the channel. Hit me up with some comments. And don't forget, when you ring that bell and it comes up and says all, don't put it on personal. Put it on all. That way you can get every time I post, it'll let you know. Okay? America, have a great day. Peace, love. And wait a minute, because y'all know before I leave, hold up, I got to go back over here to this. I got to find my logo. Here we go. Logo.